All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Michael and, well, Rob is over there. Back with another weekly fishing live stream. Hopefully you're all doing well. Good to see you all. We'll take a second here to let folks roll into the live as we just started. Got some early people in the chat. Rick, Brian, Tim, Dave, all in here. Good morning to you all. Dave checking in from Michigan. I'm curious how the fishing is going on over there on the Michigan side of things. Rob's grabbing a couple of things. As always, with our reports, we're going to obviously talk about what's happening with the fishing right now in our area here on the western side of the lake. And we'll cover what's new here at the shop as far as gear-wise, so you know what we have, what's came in, stuff that you might be looking for. And then we'll always take your questions. So any questions about anything, feel free to ask. Don't feel shy or embarrassed to ask a question. We're here to be a resource to help you guys out. So especially if you're newer and you're curious about things, just drop it in the chat. I'll read through all of them, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. Good morning, good morning, good morning. See Anthony, Kenneth here, Mo G, Brian, good morning, Paul, Big Lake Little Boats. Gentlemen, good morning. Check out the Big Lake Little Boats channel, man. They just did a pretty cool video. They went over to new water for them in South Haven, I think it is, which I went there, drove by it last year. It was pretty cool. Like that, when you start going to the havens and on the they have it's so different where our ports are way more urbanized, big city-ish and city-like. Their ports over there are just dunes. It's very low key. It's very, very different. And we're all in the same body of water. I thought Michigan is very, very interesting, really cool. And they were able to go out in this new water, fished up a new port, and got in some fish. So really cool. Check them out. Dave is at work. Yikes.
Yeah, same here. So.
Yeah, we're at work too, actually. Oh man. Ford Tech said, "Where are you located in the harbor?" So we're located in Winthrop Harbor, 1038 Sheridan Road. We are.
Just a few blocks south of 7th, which leads into the harbor, around the corner of 11th and Sheridan.
Yep. So we're conveniently right here, right by North Point.
Yep.
Lex, good morning. How do you think the rain and storm will affect the pierhead fishing? Well, Rob, what are your thoughts?
It's already starting to slow up a little bit, but the water isn't dirty or anything around here. I think you're still going to be catching some fish. I don't think you're going to have the quick limits like we had a couple weeks ago, but there's definitely some cohos near shore to be caught. From Waukegan, Kenosha, Racine, all of them. The storms we had were pretty brief. So it wasn't like the kind that just dumped on us a couple inches of rain and muddied up the lake forever. The lake looks pretty good still.
Yeah,
so, and then with this wind that we have today, any dirty water we have is long gone.
Sending it over to Michigan side. You guys can have that crap water.
Yeah.
I will say, we were out. We got a couple videos we're excited about. One released yesterday. We'll share it to our Facebook, but check it out. It's a small boat rigging tip video for folks that have a small boat that are looking to transform it into a salmon slaying machine. You do a lot of inland fishing, but you want to step into the salmon world. We got with Captain Dave Johnson, who has a small Crestliner, I believe it is, and he shares how his approach to rigging it and how he set it all up for efficiency, to keep things organized, because a lot of our belief here with salmon fishing is you being efficient in your boat in terms of where stuff's at, rigging, being able to chase stuff out, making sure your lines are in the water at all times really adds to your catch rate and stuff. So really good video we have with him. So check that out after our live today if you haven't seen it already. We got a video coming out with Captain Blake from Stormforce Fishing. We were out there this week with him, and really good video about fishing in tough /foggy conditions. I think you guys are going to really enjoy some learning points there, and we got a lot of great content with him.
And how to use a fish grinder.
Yeah, how to use a fish. We did a fish grinder video with them. We did a Magnum Metals video with them, like an overview for that product for folks that are interested in that. It's a fantastic downrigger option on the market. And we even talked about tips for fishing in the fog. And I think all of these are very valuable information that we're going to roll out this next week with him. So a lot of great stuff coming out that I think you guys will find value in, and also help you out as you're fishing out here. So let me get to some more of your chats. Anthony said, just wanted to say thanks for setting me up, Mike. Hey, man, happy to help. And I should also mention, anytime you guys, if you come in here, Rob and I get you rigged up with something, you say, hey, give me a couple spoons or give me a couple flashes you recommend. You go out there and you catch some fish with it. Feel free to send us a picture to our Facebook messages. You holding the fish with that product in the mouth. We're happy to just take that and share it on our Facebook and show folks, Let's see here. Kenneth said went 7 out of 8 out of Muskegon last weekend. Awesome job,
awesome.
Kenneth. Yeah. Night Legion made it from our first live. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for the live. Let's see. Anthony said, just FYI, guys, I made the trip up to the shop. These guys are truly professionals to start salmon fishing, and these guys set me up. Highly recommend a visit to the shop. Very kind of you, Anthony. Thank you, man. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
John, good morning, everyone. Had a tough day out of Michigan City Thursday. Very limited action in about 40 to 50. Magnum, Rasta, and Pink Tiger Crank. I've been hearing about the South End, and in fact, my buddy Brian from Big Lake Little Boat has said that the South End has been really tough fishing, which doesn't seem normal for the South End. Normally, when the water's cold, they have a good amount of fish around and bait. This year seems a bit different, and hence why they had to travel to the havens to go fish, to go look for that. So, kind of interesting what's happening. Maybe something to discuss at the end of the year when the podcast resumes about like the weather this year, and even the start. This first segment of the year has been really challenging. Let's see here. What else we have here? John said, and thanks to all of you for sharing with us amateurs. Oh, man, we're here. Kenneth said, Dreamweaver Lemon Ice took 5. Okay, there you go. All right, what colors have been producing most for you guys? Great question. You know what? We'll answer that in 2 ways. One, for everybody that's watching in the chat, share what's working for you so everybody else can see. And actually, we're going to get into some of that here in a second. First, let's get into what's new at the shop. You guys might be looking for some of this stuff that came in, Rob.
Yeah, so we didn't get a ton of stuff in this week, but Stinger flashers are here. So finally, we got the Super Frogs, which is one of my favorite flashers of all time. And there's a bunch more. I just grabbed a few with the UV2 face, and I grabbed 2 UV2 faces. But the Dragon Lady, the Chrome Green Jeans, the White Green Jeans, the Yellow Jeans, all those, the Black Eyed Peas, Blue Dolphin, all those different Stinger flashers are finally here. So get those while you can. The other big shipment we had was the tender boxes, the spoon tenders, the flasher tenders, the Dodger tenders, all that. So wasn't a ton of new stuff that came in, but these are here. We have a pretty good supply of them at the moment.
Yeah, I can't stress enough to you guys just how these are, my favorite. I'm maybe even speaking for Rob as well. Option for your spoons for 2 reasons. One, look at that profile, super low profile. So if you are in a small boat where space, your space, you're limited on space, you want to, be efficient. This is a great option. It can slide under your seat, slide on a little, wherever you may have. It's really convenient for that. Great for the kayak. Highly recommend the kayak. I slip it right behind my seat in my kayak. I can grab it. It doesn't take up it's a small footprint. And the other thing too, with it being clear, you can really make, and what we always tell guys, when you get one of these, make that first one you get your best of spoon box. Your high confidence, the ones you go to every trip, day in, day out. Put all your go-to heavy hitters in one box, and that's like your main one that you have sitting out. And then you can have other ones, because we all have a ton of spoons, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
You can have your other ones that are more like maybe cloudy condition box. Maybe you got all gold blank spoon box. Like you can dive into the weeds on all those, and you can pull those out on a needed basis. But you've got one that has all your go-to heavy hitters, and so check those out. We got them in, and they're really cool. So we mentioned that. Did you want to mention those spoons, or are we going to talk about that in the report?
Well, I was going to put it in the report.
Okay, so we'll get into that in a second here. Pavel, what's up, man? Hi, Michael, Rob. Thank you. Tipsy Diver works.
Yep.
Awesome. Any McLovin in stock?
Not at the moment. Hopefully very soon.
Do you have meat in stock?
Yes. And more on the way.
Anthony, what do you recommend for a good universal lead core? 35710 for all year go-to. Thanks. Well, I think I'll answer it for the kayak side. I'll let Rob answer for the boat side. In the kayak, just get a 10 color. And with the 10 color, you can run any 7 within that, because obviously in the kayak you're limited on rods and space extremely. So I've always just ran a full 10, and then from there I'll let out 3, 5, or 7. 7 is my favorite in the summer. Just works. And you can put it on. What I've been doing, really like, the little mini Ninja boards from Dreamweaver have been fantastic for the kayak. Small footprint, easy to do, and you can't go wrong with a 10 color in the kayak. For the boat route?
Yeah, and you know what, and the reason you can go with a straight 10 color in the kayak is because you're usually not running off the board all the time. Like in a boat, you get more wave action, and so we have specialized rods. But if you want to just let a lead core straight back behind the boat, you can get away with just having a 10 color. But normally we like it out to the side. So if I were to just start with 1 and 1 only, I'd do a 3 color because you can always get it deeper with a snap weight.
Or on the rigger.
Exactly.
SWR.
You can put it as an SWR on your downrigger.
Yeah.
You can use it right now, early in the year. It's going to catch a lot of fish right now. And once things warm up and that 3 color isn't deep enough, you can use a small torpedo diver or other types of snap weights to get it down deeper and still run it off the board. So if you could only have 1, I think that would be the one to do it with. And then over time, you can expand to some of the longer ones to get deeper.
Yep. There you go. All right. Keep the questions coming in. Let's go ahead and dive into fishing. I think you guys see the title for this live and this report. Challenging fishing continues due to the weather. It's been brutal. Let's be honest here. It's been a lot more days. I mean, we had 2 days this week of probably the most intense fog I've ever experienced. We went out on both of those days. I went out on the day, and then the second day was worse than the first day. Yeah. That's the day we filmed with Captain Blake.
There were some close calls out there.
Oh, yeah. Quite a few close calls.
Dangerous situations.
I think it's worth mentioning quite a few things happened near Waukegan especially. I think it's important that we stress that on these foggy conditions, folks shouldn't be fishing out in front of the harbor mouth. There's a lot of boat traffic coming in, and let's be honest here, not everyone uses common sense. Folks are going full throttle out of the harbor for God knows what reason. You have kayakers that are trolling in front of the harbor, which that's a recipe for disaster. And there were some close calls, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hell, there's even a close call with a charter boat and
another charter boat.
Another charter boat and the big boat. The what do you call them?
Oh yeah, the. I don't know.
I went blank too.
Yeah,
Guys,
a barge down in Waukegan.
Yes.
Yeah, so
wiped out one side of the charter's spread.
Yeah.
So like, it's not prone to just small boats or kayakers or charter boats. Like, even the barges are out there. So those foggy days, man, it's close calls. Not good. So that being said, we had fog this week. We have had extreme winds this week. We've had yesterday. It's been one hell of a May to fish. But when you are able to get out there, we were still able to catch some fish. So let's talk about what's been working here.
Yeah, so kings this week are being caught on the holdout and the atom bomb moonshines. Had numerous reports of kings being caught on those. On lead cores, on downriggers, kind of a mix of anything, really. So definitely run those right now. They were good in the fog, and they were good on sunny days as well. I had kings, we had a king the other day, and we were about 35 feet.
Yeah, we were like 35 feet. The day we were filming with Captain Blake, the king took a stubby, with the ectoplasm fly, that was a hot setup. Yeah, like it took like 8 fish. It was stupid, and it was only like 20 some feet back. So that king came into the prop wash and took the little 2-inch fly.
It was by far the hottest rod.
Yeah, it was pretty insane how hot that was.
Yeah, so we stayed, in shallow that day. That was a super foggy day. We didn't want to, venture too far on a quick trip before work. But I've heard kings staying in that 30, 40, 45 feet. Also fish out in the 90s. And there were some reports of just tons of marks out in the 90s. And so, they were a little picky. I had guys that told me they marked fish after fish and couldn't catch them. Other guys said they did catch them, just depending on where they were, I guess, or what time they were out there. But there were some cohos caught out there. There were some kings and lake trout. Same within the 60s as well. So there's really just kind of spread out fish all over the place.
Yeah, they are spread out. When I was out, I mean, you can catch kings in 35, but it's not a numbers game, though. You'll pick, like, you will get your coho. You might get like 1 or 2 kings. Lake trout have been sitting pretty good in 60 feet of water, and they've been chomping. I think arguably the lake trout bite is probably probably the best bite right now in terms of like consistency. Like they're cooperating really well. I was out there on that first foggy day and whacked 4 of them super quick. I mean, it doubled up. They were on it, you know. And they were taking down. I put out a white Megatron with a bullfrog fly, down about 35 lake trout. They were smacking it up. Caught some on spoons. The McLovin spoon did well for me for lake trout. That's becoming a pretty good lake trout spoon for me, consistent with the lake trout. And there's even I had coho out in 75 feet of water. So for no rhyme or reason, these fish are really kind of spread out between, like, let's say 35 and 100 feet of water. Yeah. So I guess the good news about that is when we do have like a day to get out there and fish, we're not getting blown off. You got a lot more water to cover, get yourself away from boats to then have fish to yourself. Yep. So that's a good thing.
And then once you find some fish, just stay on them. That's been the key. You know, especially talking to charters. You know, they go long stretches without a bite, and all of a sudden they get a couple, and they just keep turning back on that school until they got their limit and they're done.
The other thing we noticed too this week too is we're starting to see bait rolling out into deeper water. So, you know, we're marking them in 50 feet on the bottom. And that's usually, like Rob said, we'd pop a fish and then the captains pick up on that and they'll start circling around that bait in that general area. They'll start picking up a couple more, then it dies, and then you start putzing around looking for more of that. Yep. And so it seems like the alewives are starting, maybe you got like a first wave that spawned already that are starting to push back out, but you'll pay attention to your sonar because they're tight to the bottom. You'll see like a little mound. It's probably going to be some alewife there, and there should be
it's not like the big clouds all over the screen like we're used to this time of year.
They're like riding a low in the bottom, probably to avoid predation. They're like, let's sneak out of here, you know. So that was some other things that we observed as well. And these are little intricacies that when you're on the water, pay attention not only to, like, you know, how your rods are pulling, but your sonar. You know, make sure you're seeing stuff in there. As far as that goes, I think even if you're in deep water, you're fishing the first top 40 feet of water too. So I sent stuff down deeper into the bone cold water. Nothing. Everything's like top 40 feet. So regardless if you're in close or you're out in the hundreds, I think these fish are still up higher because the water's cold still. So you don't have to fish very deep. Lead cores have still been producing really well. 6 colors for me was really, really good this week. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I would also say don't be afraid to start running 8-inch flashers now. They're starting the fish are starting to hit those flashers now. Like I said, I got coho on an 8-inch blade. We had
the white Pro Troll.
Yes, we had the white Pro Troll. So we were out with Captain Blake. He had the center rod. He had a spoon that worked the day before, I think he said. We went for a little while fishing, nothing. I suggested, hey, let's give him something different because we had stubbies out everywhere. I was like, let's put an 8-incher out just to give him something different, and he put it down and it went right up. So sometimes you got to mix it up, show him something a little different too in your spread that could trigger something as well. And like I said, ectoplasm fly was a stud this week. It's been really, really one of the standouts for the week here. Let me get to your question. Any questions, drop it in right now. We're going to go through them, okay? Daniel said, hello. Just finished the charter in Milwaukee. Was awesome. Caught 20 coho with my friends. Yo, great.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
Really good. Scott said, I can't imagine going out in fog without radar. Yeah.
Yeah, once you get used to using radar, I can't imagine going out without it either.
Yep. Anthony said, when do you normally start running J-plugs? Great question, Anthony. So I'm one of the few probably psychos out here that I actually will run plugs. I started last year. Last year I committed to plugs, so really like dial that in. And what I learned in doing that is outside of like the peak plug season, which would probably like July, August, and then September for the fall kings, kind of like where most people will break them out, you can actually fish them before that and catch fish. What I learned is that early in the season, like now into before that peak period, running it like in the dark up until like the sun's fully over the horizon, there's a window where it will pop off for you. Then it kind of dies off real quick after that. And then in the summertime, it's a little bit more consistent throughout the day and guys will fish more. But this time of year, yeah, if you're out there in the dark, you're launching at like 5 a.m., 4:30, it was still low light and, sun's slowly creeping over the horizon. I've taken fish and they worked well, but it was a really hard die off though. Once that sun is out, interesting. I don't, who knows why that is. Any other questions? Feel free to drop them out there. Meat rigs have been working. You know, some other guys are out there running meat off wires. So the fish haven't been really too picky, to be honest with you. You know, it's been good on that front. If you're able to get out and get stuff in front of them, they are chomping away.
Yeah.
So that is working in our favor. What is McLovin? So, not to be confused with Superbad the movie, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Your name is McLovin? Who has yeah, anyway. So McLovin is a spoon from Mr. Chrome. It's basically...
And a flasher.
And a flasher, yeah.
Yep.
That went fast. It's just all white. It's just an all white.
UV
like
tape, a big eye on it.
Yeah, big eye, and a white ladder back. It's just all white spoon. And so guys, it really kind of took off last year for folks catching kings and Lakers. So, you know, it's interesting how certain spoons, certain fish kind of gravitate to more.
Yep.
So that one is like a king and Laker.
Killer, yeah.
King and Laker, and it's been killing the Lakers for me. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out there. Oh, let's see what happened here. All right. Sorry about that, Clayton. The Nightbot got a little excessive, but I read your comment there. As far as other stuff, we do want to mention quickly the Big Pond Brawl. We had to cancel today because of the extreme winds. There was a small craft advisory, so we unfortunately have to push it till tomorrow. So for those that are watching that are in the brawl, that's going to happen tomorrow. We'll make some posts today. We already had the captain meeting. There's nothing new information there, so that's going to be in play. We'll get the boat numbers out today, and tomorrow looks much more favorable to fish for sure. And we'll have the weigh-in tomorrow. In fact, I invite everyone watching, guys, come down to the shop tomorrow to watch the weigh-in live. We have a live weigh-in here. The public is welcome to come in. You can shop a couple of things while you're here, and then go in the back and watch the fish weigh-in. We really want to encourage you guys to come by and experience it for yourself. Meet other captains and network. And that'll be between 1 and 3 p.m. tomorrow here at Lake Michigan Anglers. So stop on by, man, and check it out. John G said, when do you use spin doctors? Now.
Yeah, you can use spin doctors anytime you want. You have the
Yeah.
baby spin doctors that work great for cohos. You have the 8 inchers and 10 inchers and all that. We really find that they shine, especially the 8 inchers and bigger, when there's crazy currents, which we've had a lot of lately. They just tend to do well in strong currents.
Yep. I really like them. Like Rob said, when you got crazy currents, just because of how they spin around, it's more favorable in that stuff. And also, if you're trolling slower, I think they
well, yeah, they go great fast or slow.
yeah
Yeah.
you got way more flexibility with them. I think is one of their standout kind of things.
Yep.
And one that I like right now. Let me go grab it, Rob. You want to talk to him? I'm going to show you one that I like.
Yeah, so spin doctors, we like them a lot on our dipsies. The other thing is on a rigger, we tend to do better with them like close to the ball. Just running it like 10 feet or 8 feet behind the downrigger ball works really well. For me, I've had a lot more success fishing it that way than stretching it back 20, 30, 50 feet like we often do with 8-inch flashers or 11-inch flashers. So those are things to keep in mind. And they do work good at fast speeds. If you're doing 3 miles an hour, a lot of guys really like them. Been putting a longer leader on them, like a 28-inch leader even.
So I have a couple here that if you're looking to try or use or fish right now, this orange slice is a new one that came out here, and I fished it, and it did really, really well. And I like it because of the color at this time of year. It's a great looking blade, and it's working. So that's one. We also have our custom one here, which is the custom orange yellow dot. This smoked last year. It's working this year. I fished mine out there as well. Like that one. And don't sleep on Blue Bubble. Blue Bubble's a really good spin doctor to throw out there. I like it with a double aqua Howie fly on there. Kind of match the blues. It does really well. So if you're looking to get into something for like right now, I like these colors. This time of year, you can fish them whenever, really. But
yeah, that blue bubble gets really good in July sometimes. You have a July day with a north wind and it's rough out there. That's it. Blue bubble's a killer.
Quickly, also want to mention we still do have some of our customs from Mr. Chrome, our dead toad and our bloody toad in both the mag and standard sizes. So we do still have some from that order. And if you are following our Facebook page, I posted a picture yesterday that's got people talking. When we have these done from Mr. Chrome, We also mentioned, and I asked, I said, hey, can you do me up 3 more with the chartreuse, a green, and a bluehead with the bad to a body? So Mason did that for me. Sent it with an order so I can test them. I've been fishing the hell out of them, and they've been really good as well. And so I asked what colors folks would want to see first. And so what I wanted to share now is that we looked at all the comments, and folks wanted chartreuse, and I wanted green, they wanted blue. I think we've decided we're going to just do all 3.
Just get all of them.
We're going to get all 3. So those will be coming in the future here. We'll have all 3 of those toads. We don't have names for them yet. But the green one right now has been smoking hot for me. You know, so as the season goes, I'm sure the other colors will pop off, but at least you got your colors covered. So happy to share that with you guys as well. All right, Randy, morning guys. Hit South Haven in the fog Wednesday. It was slow. Okay. Yeah, I mean our trip out was slow, but we managed to get them.
Yeah, we picked. I mean, it was a quick trip. We were done fishing by 8:30, and we had a dozen fish or so, and we can't really complain about that too much.
It was quiet, and then you go pop, 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 quiet, pop, pop, pop. So we'll take it, Any other questions? Anything you guys may have missed? You want to know about before we wrap things up for today's live? Feel free to drop it for today, or drop it here in a second. I think looking forward. I haven't quite looked to see what the weather forecast looks like for the week. Have you?
It doesn't look good.
All right, great. Time to go inland fishing, and we got bait for you guys.
Or as some of our customers have just been fishing for alewives. In the harbor. Yep.
By the way, if you're looking to make your own meat, we put up a video up there earlier in the week how to catch, cut, and brine alewife.
Yeah, we sold a lot of sabiki rigs this week.
Do we?
Yeah.
And we got all the brines here as well from Potski, so check out that video as well. It's simple to do, and meat's a very effective way to catch and target big kings. You know, so we got a lot of great stuff on the channel. Feel free to check it all out. I'm not seeing any other comments or questions. So it sounds like looks like everything's good with your guys' end, which we do appreciate your time for being here with us. We will be back next week with, of course, another update and everything. Again, tomorrow, the Big Pond Brawl happening here at the shop. The weigh-ins from 1 to 3. Come on down. We'd love to meet you guys. Come check out the weigh-in and watch the fish as folks are pulling them out of their coolers there. Hopefully see some impressive stuff. And that's it, guys. You have a wonderful day out there. Hopefully get you some fish here in the next week. And we'll see you soon. Take care.